Hey guys, it's Jay here with another Ordeal vid. Today I really just wanted to spitball and talk about the Ordeal Season 3 Wolfpack pictures that are on the Brent Bristol Instagram page. I'm really just spitballing this one. None of this is scripted. I'm really just going on like just rolling off the tongue with this. And I kind of hope you guys enjoy some of this formatting of videos. And then this, I can also just kind of throw this together that way that sometimes even between videos, these videos can be come out a bit more quickly since I'm not like spending, days and days on end just scripting. But if you enjoy the style of video, leave a like and share with others. Without further ado, on to the discussion. Okay, so first I want to just look at the actual overall picture, which is the five members all listed or shown together. If you take a look, obviously Shay is not there, which means for anybody who has read the story or who has seen kind of like some of those flash forwards that we get, Shay is starting his like Ronin character arc, and he is not going to be among the Wolfpack anymore. So obviously his sister in the front is replacing him, that being Yukiko. If you have seen some of my videos or if you've read the story yourself, you know that Yukiko now has Hisame, or at least was able to use Hisame at the end of the second season. And we can tell by some of these pictures that she's probably been training. I'm not really sure if there's any time skip going along with this one, or at least if there is, I'm not sure. I can't really give a big guess about how long the time skip has been. Yukiko doesn't look that much older, but Tevin's hair seems to be a bit longer, and Anton obviously has facial hair, and he also has more muscle mass. Excuse me, but honestly, so does Azam. So we could say this is like a couple year time skip. It seems that she has been training, and everybody else has obviously also been training and getting higher power outputs for themselves. But first, let's go ahead and just talk about Yukiko. So if we take a look at Yukiko's design, we can see obviously she has her hair braided, she has a sleeve, and then she also has a sword on her left side. I'm very glad that she has a sword in general, because we know that Sabito, hopefully his picture is on the screen right now. He also obviously had a sword, and then he also carried another empty scabbard that he used for Hisame's full manifestation, like you saw in my previous video. I honestly am just excited that she also has a sword similar to her father. Now, I am also excited that the sword isn't just a katana, even though that would be closer to her heritage, considering the Harklen are Japanese. But she has a straight sword, which I think that is a straight sword. Is She has a straight sword closer to like how what's her name? Andrea uses Alistair, even though Alistair is obviously about the size of, Andrea herself. But it is very interesting, and I feel like that indicates that Andrea has been training Yukiko. If she has been the one been training her at all, she could be being trained by somebody else. We won't know until the actual, season starts. But I'm very glad to see that her design also resembles more Andrea, because if you actually look at the picture, which I didn't mention at all, Andrea is also not in that picture at all. But like the right sleeve she has also kind of reminds me of Andrea's sleeve, similar to when she uses her talent weapons, like when she uses Alistair or Muramasa, that kind of get that like sleeve of armor real quick before she actually uses the technique of full scale. So I do like that for her. I like her design, honestly. Her hair is pretty long. I know that's like nothing anybody's really caring about. Her hair is pretty long, which is kind of crazy to look at compared to her father. Her father's hair and any other previous Hisame user's hair wasn't that long. So that could be a trait of her mother. Just to kind of spitball and just talk about it. But yeah, honestly, some things I want to see from her. So yeah, if we can get into that topic, some things I want to see from Yukiko. Honestly, I would like to see her use some of the techniques we saw Sabito use, but I would really enjoy if Brent like wrote in some more like techniques that we haven't seen at all, or some of the things that like should be alluded that she can do. I like the fact that she doesn't have a second sword, which means she won't be like a consistent imitation of just her dad, in that she can be more of her own individual with Hisame. So I would like to see just some more ice related attacks, but like obviously ice related attacks, but like more ice related attacks that are her own or more unique to her, or some things that we just haven't seen or haven't thought of. Like, I don't want to see anything super grand. I also just kind of can't wait to see how she fights and how she's been trained, as opposed to like Sabito, who was very like good with his sword, but also use Hisame like more in conjunction. Or if she is going to be more of a fighter, that is, she reserves her talent for like necessary threats where she's able to take them out more immediately with her sword. So moving on to Tevin, I like his design also. I like the green. I like the left picture, like the left scaled image more than the right one because I'm not really feeling the cloak. It just looks so cool to me, like his left design, like without it. He kind of reminds me of Ryu, from Street Fighter. If anybody has played that, maybe I have a picture up if you're obviously if you're watching it, maybe I have a picture of Ryu up. If I do, maybe you can see those similarities, but if I don't, then you're just gonna have to take my word for it. His design and like kind of ambiance about this picture just kind of it reminds me more of like a loner type, similar to how we might expect Shay to be on, but also still like very much relying on his brothers and his friends and family, as opposed to Shay, who is going to be completely just wandering the world or wherever by himself, you know. But I do like this design. I also want to see from Tevin. I want to see more, just more hide mastery. Like obviously, Rhino hide is his like base and his like more consistent hide. But I want to see Lion hide get some more action. I would love to see Lion hide overdrive. Hopefully that's up on the screen right now. But I would really love to see Lion hide overdrive. I mean, he essentially went Super Saiyan when he did that, and then it only lasted, or he only used it for that brief moment to defeat Ryu Gaskin, and then it disappeared. Like we never saw it again. We never saw it in the battle against Kaguya. He went straight to Hammerhide. We never saw it against the Iron Gaki, which he also fought alongside Shay. So I genuinely want to see more Lionhide, but I also want to see not just Hammerhide mastery, but like the larger, grander hide that he can pull from, or that he should be able to pull from. Since in the flash forward, we know he becomes a god tier, so maybe this is the time where he might become a hand, or he becomes even just a ranked member in the top 150. That would be cool to see, honestly. Maybe this is the start of that, but I would love to see just more like of his hides, like the potential his hide actually has or his talent actually has. I would love to see the bigger aspects of it being more mastered or shown more in some of the fights or in some of just his trainings like that we get to see. Moving on, we are gonna take a look at Anton. Anton's design is very nice. I feel like he has one of the more simplistic designs out of everybody that we've seen. I feel like he's actually always had the more simplistic design, but I feel like it's highlighted very well in this picture. And like I said, I did pull all these pictures off of Instagram, and in the comments, somebody mentioned that he just has the color scheme of like Son Goku from Dragon Ball. Maybe I have a picture of that up, but if you can see, obviously he has the same orange and blue type of style. Honestly, in the same way, because he usually has the blue underneath the orange, so that's very cool because obviously Goku from Dragon Ball is related or based off of is a better word based off of the Wukong myth, just like how Anton has the Wukong talent, you know. So that's a nice similarity right there. um I'm not really sure. Oh, he has a bandana, like a headband, kind of like similar to Naruto, honestly. But yeah, Anton's design is very nice and sleek. Anton's probably one of my favorite Wolfpack members aside from maybe Tevin. Yeah, I think he'd probably be like number one or number two. I think Anton, I what I want to see from Anton is maybe just I feel like so we he mentions that in the like before they meet Bjorn, he mentions that he's witnessed like witnessed a flash of Kong's memories, and so I would like to kind of see maybe some of those memories be expanded upon in terms of like Kong and their relationship, because when Anton originally like when we originally see Anton training alongside the Wolfpack and then Andrea at the Hemlock Mansion, Kong is not like the shift aspect of Kong is not mastered or is not like even close to being like controlled at all, like 30%. And Anton was like kind of his personality was like completely changed, but he had like no sense of capability to use like what he has shown that we've actually seen he can use. So I would like to see that. I would also like to see I feel like he has like a monk type vibe, so I would like to see maybe some meditation from him, which would be really cool. I also want to see, since we know a lot about his talent, I guess I would just want like to see more percentages for bigger threats. Like we saw 75%, but we only saw 75% for a brief moment when Kong himself actually used it, and then he was still coughing up blood. So I would love to see 75% just at its full potential and then use in combat. With the time skip, I'm assuming he can go potentially up to like I want to say 90 because if he goes to 100, he will die. So I would love to see a 90% Wukong in a fight. I'm honestly thinking that would be great. I think that's really all I have for Anton though. I also do wonder what that creature is. Like we haven't really seen any like animals like or like unique animals in the verse. So I feel like this creature might like allude to some more like mystical or like animal related type of things, which could be very interesting. Moving on and taking a look at Azam. Azam's design is very, very bold and out there. He has a lot more the like goldish yellow type appeal, and the green hue of like, or like not the green hue, but like the green around his like scarf is very more subtle. Where I feel like it's more, it was more apparent in his previous like design, but it's way more subtle in this one. And I kind of like that because it just shows like maybe like a growth in his character and like his talent, and then also like the feet, like the like boots he has, kind of matches the blade. So like, it just looks good to me. Um, so with this design, or at least with some of the things we see, we can obviously see the weapon that the fourth gave him, that was used by the previous kidding user. Her name was Miranda Celtic, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully, I have a picture of her up on the screen. I mean, we didn't get to see her use the weapon, which would honestly be something I would like to see, maybe a flashback of that, from Brent. But he does have this weapon, and I feel like the way he carries it makes it seem that he's either mastered it or he has very high proficiency with it. And since Kidding flows with all its attributes, I feel like that only enhances his use of it. So we'll get to see him use this in a lot of fights now, which would be great because he had the nunchucks before, but even before the nunchucks didn't seem very like how do I want to say, it didn't seem like it fit him the best, the way, Andrea's talent weapons fit her, or the way what is his name? The way Shay's like spear fits him. But I feel like it complement him very well. It goes great with his design. He has it wrapped around his arm. What do I want to see from Azam? Honestly, he didn't get a lot of showcases in the second season. Same with Louis, which I will talk about next. But he didn't get a lot of showcasings. So I just want to see more from him. I would love to see a better mastery of his talent. I would love to see him use his weapon, that weapon. I would honestly just love to see him fight with the weapon before he even activates his talent. That would be great. In those, I want to highlight the boots he has. Like they have a very like a shiny metallic type of look. So I feel like he has a more like kicking style of fighting, which would be very nice because he is a speedster, and so I feel like his attacks would flow better from his feet and like his knees, as opposed to his fists, because he's running and he's building up that momentum, and then if he flings his legs, then the momentum from his speed will carry through his legs, and that's probably why he has his feet reinforced, because he's developed a more kicking style of fighting, which would just be great. I would love to see that, and like I said, I would love to see him use his weapon. In terms of his talent is very forward. It's very like straightforward. It doesn't have a lot to be guessed about. He's a speedster. He moves fast. So honestly, I would just love to see him kind of outspeed certain people, but then I would like to see him use his speed, but in a scenario where people are outpacing him or are just as fast as him, I would love to either see him amp it up or have to like be more analytical, since he is the smarter member of the wolf pack, apparently. So I would enjoy that. Yeah. And lastly, we are going to be looking at Lewis Hemlock. Now, Lewis's design, something about it's just very cool, but it's like kind of out there at the same time. I don't know, like the headband, like the legs are very cool. I don't even think he has a kicking style of fighting, or yeah, a kick style of fighting, but they just seem to like work with him. I don't know. His design is very simplistic, but it just fits him the most. Like, and I feel like if you take a look at like his design in the last season, he kind of had that like shirtless but like shoulder patty, or like that shirtless kind of like broad shoulder type of look with the mask. It was nice for like the time, but I definitely think I like this design more. Hopefully I do have a version of that design on the screen. So yeah, I kind of like that most of them don't have the mask type of theme anymore, aside from Tevin, who has built-in masks with his hide, so that doesn't really count. But I do like the fact that they are like kind of showing their faces, and they have a better design to kind of complement this like faceless approach, especially Louise. Now, in terms of what I want to see from him, I also would just like to see more showcasings because he did not get to really pop off last season the way everybody else did, similar to Azam, like I said. So I would just enjoy seeing more of that from him. In terms of his talent has like the most creative potential, and we have seen him make like things that we probably didn't really expect him to. So I would love to see him kind of do grand stuff and minimalistic stuff. Like he made a Ash Hydra and like a Pterodon pterodactyl type thing. So I feel like in certain scenarios where like numbers are good, I would love to see him kind of create things that can just overwhelm his opponents with just sheer numbers. But in terms of like skill, I would also love to see him use weapons like or Ash weapons or Ash created like tools that would be like not necessarily unconventional, but like would be a surprise to like someone you're fighting, you know? Like imagine he pulled out like an Ash scythe mid combat, or if he pulled out Ash nunchucks, or if he pulled out like a he did like some cool maneuver with the Ash bow, you know? That would be cool to see. But honestly, I don't really have much for Lewis. I'm not gonna say he's my least favorite of the Wolfpack, but he's not the most like he's not the highest on the list. I do like all of them individually in their own ways, but Lewis doesn't really have like too much for me to like kind of talk about, you know. But I do like his design nonetheless. So that is the video. I don't really have anything else planned. I don't have anything else to really discuss. Honestly, it's very simplistic. It's very straight to the point with other designs. Like I said, if I had to put one my favorite, I would definitely put Tevin's and Yukiko's at the top. And then I'd probably actually go Azam and then Anton and then Lewis in terms of just looks because I'm very excited for Yukiko to just have like showcasing the story, and then Tevin's design is very it's simplistic but it's very cool. You know, like I feel like it just matches his energy. Honestly, all their designs match like who they've been like shown to be or like how they've been shown to act. But and just in terms of favorites, I'd say, you know, Yukiko's and Tevin's are some of my more favorites. They look great. The art looks good. Hopefully everybody is just as excited as I am to see the slightly improved but like still consistent art style from Brent. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and share with others. And if you have anything other you want me to just suggest or what? That's not what I meant to say. If you have anything you want me to discuss, and kind of just spitball about like this, let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it. Um, yeah.